Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to learn how to make quinoa black bean burgers. I just found this recipe online and we've loved it, and I know lots of people that have tried it and have also really enjoyed it. And this can specifically be right now for your Super Bowl, for something that you can make for the Super Bowl. It's a good alternate to normal burgers. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 1 can of black beans and you're going to drain it, and you're going to have it here, and you're going to drain and rinse it and then just smush it. And some of them can be bigger pieces, but you want it mostly squished so that the better, if it's a little bit finer, then you can, the burgers will stick together better. But you can have some bigger pieces and whole beans still in there. So I just usually do that with a fork. And then I also have all my other ingredients here. And so you take your quinoa, and you just need a 1/4 cup of quinoa, and you cook that in a small saucepan with a 1/2 cup of water. So you usually just always double the amount of water for your quinoa. So a 1/4 cup of quinoa and 1/2 cup of water, and that cooks for about 15-12 minutes. It's not going to take as long because it's not that much. And after it cools a little bit, you just add that to your beans. And then we have here, it doesn't matter what order all of the rest of these things go in, but we have here a 1/4 cup of our green bell pepper. And the recipe actually asks for a yellow bell pepper, but you actually can use any kind. This is the cheapest one, so I use green. And so that goes just right in here. And nothing has to really be exact in this. But another tip for this recipe, the finer you chop the things that you're putting in here, the better the burgers will stick together. Even if they do end up falling apart in the pan when you're cooking them, they're still really good, even without a bun. So you could just pack them up for a lunch and eat them normal without a bun. And then we have here also a 1/2 cup of, the recipe calls for breadcrumbs. This is just crushed cornflakes. Again, it's a cheaper and easier option, and I think it actually gives it a really good flavor. So this is just a 1/2 cup of cornflakes. And then right here we have 2 tablespoons of minced onion, and then 1 large clove of garlic. Okay, and then that just goes in. Just like that. Then we have here our spices, which are very important. We have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We have 1½ teaspoons of cumin, or is it 2½? No, it's 1½. And then we have, as much as you want really, I just have a little bit here of crushed red peppers, and that's optional. I would say if you wanted a little spice to it, you can add that. If not, you don't have to. If you get heartburn or something, you can leave that out. But I like them in there for a little bit of a kick. And then you can kind of just mix that up a little bit. I like to just kind of mix it up first before I add my 1 egg. And the egg will then give me the consistency I want to make it stick all together. It's going to start smelling really good. That cumin is really the key ingredient as far as taste is concerned, in my opinion. I know it sounds like a lot of cumin, but it is so good. It makes it taste really awesome. So after you got that kind of mixed up a little bit, go ahead and take your egg and try not to get any extra in there. And then you just mix that in, and it makes it a little bit more sticky. And I'm just using a fork right now. You can use whatever you want. Like I can use this too. This might work. Help it get a little bit better mixed. And then, after it's mixed evenly there, all you do is then you just get a little messy. And then what I've done over here is I have my pan and I have olive oil, and it's been warming up. So that olive oil, it calls for about 3 tablespoons, but just kind of cover the bottom of the pan. You can add more if you need it. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cook these patties. I'm going to make the patty and then cook it on both sides for about 5 minutes. They're really hard to ruin. They can kind of get a little dark, but I've never really burnt one enough that it doesn't taste good. So you just can kind of take one of these. You just take it with your hands here, and you just form a patty. Okay, you can make them as big and thick as you really want. Everything in here is pretty safe except for the egg just needs to be cooked a little bit, and they'll be just what you do as it cooks in the pan, so shouldn't be getting any food poisoning or anything. And I just do that, and then I bring it over here to my, and it is normal if they fall apart or anything, it's okay. And then I just put it in my pan, and it lets start to cook. And then I go ahead and I keep adding that, and I keep adding. I put about 3 in my pan and let them cook. And then when they're done, I have my buns over here that I've made, and all I really have done is I use these smaller, thinner buns. They're a little bit, they're not as many carbs. So I have those, and then I have here just some lettuce and pickles. It's probably really good with some caramelized onions and maybe even some guacamole or avocado. I also have some feta cheese, and we like mustard for a little bit of gives it a little bit more of a kick it's a really good taste with the cumin. So that is what we usually do, and then we just put it together and eat it. It's really kind of just your own creation from then on out. You can use whatever kind of bun and toppings you like as far as a burger is concerned. So those are quinoa black bean burgers, and hope you enjoy them.